Hello, welcome to the Rebel Service Advisor, the good stuff. These are my favorites, my top six. I don't know if you're starting here or ending here. These are the best. I don't know if you find them anyplace else. So dig in, grab a cup of coffee, a Coke. I think it's going to be a long one, but let's get going. I've been doing it for years. I think it's going to make your life as a service writer better, more fun, more productive, sell more. Have fun at work. How can it get any better than that? Let's get going. First thing, kind of the ground rule. We're the good guys in this. We're the good guys in the auto repair. The customers got the pleasure of taking their car on vacation with the family. That car got them to and from work. Got the kids to school and back. We're the guys that keep that car on the road. We're the good guys. You don't let them ever tell you, you guys are killing me. No, we're not killing you. We're the good guys in this thing. First big lesson, turn my service writing, service advising life around. Shocked. I started out, I should tell you this first, I started out being a Porsche mechanic, working on Volkswagens out of my backyard, got a job, apprentice Porsche mechanic. So I'm around the successful business owners back in the day that owned Porsches. Had the money, CEOs, managers, owners. We'd get the car in, check it out. Every car got checked out. That's normal to me. I can't believe I read an article a year ago, 2 years ago, when times are tough, start doing better inspections. Do them anyway. What's this? Wait till times are bad to do inspections. Every car got an inspection. Then the boss would talk to him and get the okay and do it. I thought all you had to do was tell the customer what the car needed and they would say yes. Come to find out it's not always that way. But at this one Porsche shop I'm working at, I'm replacing a guy who's moving out of state. He was the current service advisor. Customer coming in, now granted, this guy would show up with his limo, drop his car off so he's got money. But there were two things on the list. One made sense to me, service, repair, whatever. He wanted a small thing done in the car, big expense. I thought, who the heck's going to say yes to that? The guy I'm replacing said, with a smile on his face, he said, he'll say yes. So when I talked to that guy, I delivered it. I bought into that. I delivered it as if the customer would say yes. You know, tell him how much it was going to be to fix that little tiny thing. He said yes. That stuck with me. The sales terminology is the presumptive close. Presumptive meaning you presume they're going to say yes. In my mind, he was going to say yes. It must have been delivered that way. Wow, I'm onto something. Did it from then on naturally. At that race shop I worked at, one customer was like half the work. He was racing, pro racing eventually. Racing here, racing there. Wasn't very good. Finally realized the expense wasn't worth the fun. So he quit racing. Shop owner came to me. He goes, I'm not firing you, but that's half the business. I got to start doing your job. So I had to move on. Actually, I went back to a place, half the shop. I mean, naturally, the race shop looked great. Nice tile, race cars out front, expensive cars. Figuring that's what it took for the customer to say yes. Like, don't grind me down on the price. Look what I've got out there in her shop. Don't grind me down. But I went to the OK shop. I mean, that's a nice way to put it, the OK shop. He hung a dumb light over part of the parts department and shut the light off to save money. This ratty old light. Shortly after there, customer comes in. We give the car a once-over. Needs like, I forget what it was, 8 or 10 things. I looked at the boss. I said, my arrogance, my presumptive close said, how many do you want me to get approval for? He squirmed. He wasn't comfortable getting all 8. So I talked to the customer. He approves like 7 of them. When the boss talked to him, it went down to 5. The boss talked himself out of it. Went down to 4 or 5. Point being that presumptive close works at any shop. You deliver as if they're going to say yes. Now, granted, you guys got to be good, nice, honest, trustworthy, which I'll get into in a second. presumptive close that they're going to say yes. You deliver it, you deliver the whole thing. Don't let them interrupt you to tell you how expensive it is. You keep going to tell them everything, then we'll sort out what you want to do, which we'll get to in a second. At the Porsche shop, the boss told me they have the money. When I took over being a service writer and they were telling me no and postponing, can't afford, whatever it was, he kept telling me no. He was the guy that got the yeses before me. He said to me, they have the money. That took me 6 months to half believe it. It's probably longer than that. And I want to say it took 6 more months for me to believe it. It's probably a year more to believe it. They have the money. Now your customers, they got kids to go into college. They've got Christmas coming up. They got vacations. They may not, quote, have the money. They can get it. They have credit cards. The car's important to them. I now believe, I act as if they have the money. Next thing is, I'm dealing with friends. I'm dealing with friends. They aren't customers. They aren't cars. They aren't numbers or license plates or a 3.0 car. They're friends. Now, they're not beer drinking friends, but they're friends, customer friends. Friends who know I have to make a profit. Know we have to make a profit, just like they do. Let's have a conversation with one of our customers. Young lady, she's in the banking business, up high into banking, not in a bank, big loans. She called them fake friends. And I thought, fake friends. And then she explained to me. She goes, that's what I called them until I got married. I was getting married. I invited many of my friends, my fake friends, to my wedding. So were they more than friends? More than friends. And they know she has to, we have to make a profit. I'm dealing with friends. A buddy of mine in the hardwood flooring business says, treat them like they're a long-lost high school buddy. A high school friend shows up at your shop. They're going to trust you're going to advise them the best way to do it. Makes the most sense, the right amount of money, do what you need now, and postpone it later. Dealing with friends. When you get to that big number, what the car needs, they come in for a service for $150, $200. It ends up being, oh, look at that, when my phone went off. Ends up being from 200 to 900, 1,500, 2,000 to make that call. Make that call to a customer. I imagine you give some people a break on the price. I know I do. I know where there's a huge markup, I can give them a break on the price. The way I do that, I tell them list price. And I tell them 3 times. When I say, here's the price, here's list, here's what it should be, here's a total, what the dealer would charge you, I make sure I tell them 3 times, because then in their mind, that's the price. That's the price. So when I give them a discount, they are tickled because I've dropped off 10%, 5%, whatever the heck it is. It's a negotiation trick. I shouldn't call it a trick. It's not fair. It's a negotiating tactic. I learned that from the boss at the race shop. He was putting in a driveway, and he thought, well, since we're putting in this driveway at his new place, what's it going to cost to put in a go-kart track? Yes, naturally, it's a lot of land. What's it going to cost to put in a go-kart track? So he said, the guy quoted him like, we'll say 20 grand, whatever it was, 15,000 for the go-kart track. And my boss, the owner, goes, oh my God, 15,000, I'm not going to spend 15,000 for a go-kart track. Next day he said, go-kart track for 15,000. The next day, go-kart track for 15,000. It went from being this high to normal. That's what I tell my customers on the third, tell them 3 times. Here's the price, here's the price, here's the price. And then when you tell them what you're going to do it for, they love you for it. Speaking of quoting, I know there's theories, don't quote labor, don't quote parts, just quote the total. I quote parts and labor, no problem, because I'm dealing with friends. They trust me. They trust me because I deal with them as friends. I know what they do for work, where they go on vacation, where they're going to go on vacation, that their son plays high-level baseball in college, or travel ball they call it. The one customer is going to next state away for his son's baseball. I know that. I know about the other kids. I even text some of the kids. They're my friends. They know I'm not going to cheat them. Friends, again, that know I have to make a profit. I had mentioned the boss was able to get the approvals way back in the day at the forestry shop. When I tried it, I soon realized, I think some of these people think it's a negotiation. When I tell them the car needs $1,000 worth of work, it's as if they negotiate me down, they've won. If we're not doing it, they've won. No, your car needs it. So I look at it as a negotiation now, not just here's what it needs. I've got to bring it up in a certain way, which I'll check on previous videos, how to get that approval. So it's a game. It's a negotiation. I look at it as that way. My favorite way, which I probably covered in another video, when we've checked their car out and it's gone from the 200 to 1,500, 2,000, I tell them, they come in for, say, what, a check engine light, and it's close to a service. We're going to do a check engine light and a service. And then we check the car out. I'm going to find 5 or 6 more things. It's just part of the deal, 5 or 6 more. When I talk with them, here's what the car needs for the check engine light. I'm not giving them any safety benefit values. Here's what it needs to fix it. It needs this to fix it. On to the next thing. Here's what the car needs by way of a service. By the way, it needs a cabin filter and an air filter. The cabin filter is a charcoal filter. It filters out the air coming from your heater, and your air conditioner blows by your charcoal filter. In fact, it even filters out fumes. And I will joke and say, I don't think it filters out COVID fumes, but it filters out COVID virus, but it gets rid of fumes. And of course, the air filter. Now we've got what's going to fix their check engine light and the service. Here, now you don't need this, but your tires are getting close to the wear bars. That's coming up soon. Brakes at about 30%, 40%. That's down the road. You're going to have a light come on to remind you about brakes. So we can hold off on those. The other stuff in the middle, let's come up with a plan for those. I'll explain those to you, and you and I decide which ones you want to do. People need to make their own decisions. Now, they don't like it. They're making decisions all day at work, and you're calling them at work. One more decision. They have to make a decision about where to send their kids for college, how to pay for college. They don't need another decision. Help them make that decision. We're happier with the decisions we make ourselves versus somebody forcing them on it. I'm not going to force them on that decision. I'm going to help them make that decision, though. Another way they can make that decision is put that control. We all need control over our lives, not somebody else. They can put that control into somebody else, somebody they trust, the expert. Guess who that is? That's me. That's you. That's the service advisor that they trust. They can turn loose of their control and have you help make that decision for them. So there you go. My top things that have turned me around in this business. I remember a customer, first-time customer. She used to work for a big-time detailer in Newport Beach and charged big money. And we got to talking shop. And I told her, service advising, I love what I do. And she goes, you're the first guy in this business to say you love it. I'm dealing with friends that say yes, friends that know I have to make a profit. If they say no, I know they mean it. They're not trying to get around anything. They don't have the money. They'll get it. We'll get it next month, the following month. Because if I don't do their car, that extra stuff, I'm doing the stuff that we postponed 3 months ago. Another customer's car, we're doing that now. Log these away, use them, live them, believe them. Maybe it'll take you 6 months. Maybe it'll take a year to believe them. It makes service advising so much easier. Now go listen to the rest of my tapes and hope I can turn your life around.